You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt with your 2-week spoilers. These run from Monday, July 1st, all the way through Friday, July 12th, including the July 4th holiday. There's so much to talk about. We are firmly into July sweeps. They started last Thursday. So we're going to have big, explosive action over the next few weeks as they try to hit those top viewership marks. So we'll see how it all lands. If you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Now let's dive right in. On Monday, July 1st, we are going to have more of Poppy and Tom and their messy confrontation. He is so certain he's Luna's daddy, and I know you guys are torn, and there's been a lot of debate about that test and how it couldn't have been rigged. I'll just say this, because B&B invented a kind of pregnancy test that doesn't exist, and I'll be very clear what I mean because some people didn't understand. There's no paternity test you take home and you do a swab and you immediately get a reading. You can buy DNA tests at the drugstore, but you do the swabs and you mail them in and then they email you the results, and you can get them in like 1 to 2 business days after the samples arrive. There is not a test that works like a pregnancy P test or a UTI test strip. It just simply doesn't exist. And because B&B invented it, that means they make the rules around it. So it can be tampered, it can be mistaken, all kinds of things, because it's a completely non-existent test. So I just want to be clear. So absolutely, Tom could be the dad, Bill could be the dad, despite that test, just because Bold's doing what Bold wants to do. So Poppy's past has caught up with her. She is desperate to stay in Bill's mansion for all her talk about being a dippy hippie who's just happy to go with the flow. She is very happy to be in that mansion, and she's not going to let it up. And then on Tuesday, July 2nd, a new murder mystery launches. Somebody dies unexpectedly out of the blue. We have Justin Barber back this week and Jack Finnegan back this week. It would be strange if one of them came back just to immediately be killed off. I feel more like it's going to be Tom that is murdered, likely murdered by Poppy, likely framing Sheila for the deed. That remains to be seen. Obviously, we'll know Tuesday, but just all the spoilers on Monday about Poppy's desperation and everything. It just seems like, and plus he's a spare, even though he's a good actor and he's been very engaging. Obviously, they set this angst up with Sheila to make her look culpable, and this angst with Poppy, so it's going to be a whodunit. Wednesday, July 3rd, Katie gets very emotional talking to Bill. She's very upset he's moved this woman into the house, that he's talking happily ever after, when Katie has decided, after all this time, she has an interest in Bill. She's had years to get back with him, but it's not until some other woman comes along and slithers into his bed that she's interested, and Poppy is going to be eavesdropping on them and very off-put to see Katie pouring out her feelings to Dollar Bill. Plus, Paris overhears Hope begging Thomas to stay with her, saying that she loves him. She knows he still loves her. Paris is eavesdropping in the CEO office because that's what everybody does. And she's going to tell Hope in no uncertain terms, you stay away from my fiance, Thomas. She's going to echo the kind of stuff that Steffi says. I hope Paris tells her something like, you know what, you had him, you blew it, and I'm not going to blow it. So back off. You had your chance. You're done. I'm very interested in seeing that confrontation and how it goes. Now, Thursday, July 4th, there's supposed to be this big Independence Day party at the Forster Mansion, and it says fireworks at the family party. I will say I cannot think of a time that they've aired an episode on Independence Day. Nothing comes to mind. They typically don't. But this year, for the first time in a while, they aired a new episode on Memorial Day. So maybe they are breaking their trend with history, but just because you see it on your cable guide and your TV guide as a new episode doesn't mean it's actually going to work out that way. So just bear that in mind. And if it is a rerun, you're going to want to delete it off your DVR. Otherwise, your next episode may not record. Basically, early because this is supposed to be episode 199 on Thursday. And if they air a rerun, but your cable guide thinks it's 199, and on Friday, if they air episode 199 instead, then your DVR won't record it because it'll be confused and think it already has it. Just bear that in mind. If you come in and find a rerun, we won't really know until July 4th. The last time there was a big holiday, it was prior to Memorial Day, I think, and up until the very last day, they were still showing a new episode, and then they aired a rerun anyway. Just be prepared. Friday, July 5th, the party at the Forsters continues. Eric and the family is very excited. Thomas and Paris have made it clear they want to get married sooner rather than later. Everyone raises their glass to toast. Thomas and Paris share a big romantic kiss in front of everyone. Hope Logan is there, looking quite unhappy. She is completely devastated. Poppy versus Katie action continues on Friday because Katie has thrown her hat back into the ring, it seems, but Poppy is not going to back down. And if she is indeed willing to kill Tom, and we'll see, maybe Katie needs to watch her back. So going into the following week, the week of the 8th through the 12th, we have got a big question mark because Jack Finnegan and Justin Barber are both back the week prior. And I do wonder if one of them might be representing Sheila, one of them might be watching out for Poppy's interest, or maybe Justin's back to do adoption papers. Not sure. It's been a minute since we've seen Aaron D. Spears, and I do like him, so I'm very interested to see this. And of course, Jack Finnegan is a top criminal attorney, and somebody's about to be dead unless he shows up in town and gets immediately murdered, which again would be strange. We'll see. And again, the murder mystery hits into higher gear that second week, the week of the 8th through the 12th. And I'm acting under the assumption that it is Tom Starr. It seems unlikely they would bring back these more established characters only to kill them off. So with that in mind, perhaps Bill decided to let Justin back in his life. The lab tech debuts the Monday after these 2-week spoilers, so on the 15th. So maybe it's a follow-up paternity test. Could be something with Hope coming unhinged, and maybe the headaches are concerning and they do some test work. I don't know. But Hope is going to crumble after Thomas and Paris have this big toast by the family. Thomas has revealed that the wedding is coming soon. Paris has her man. As far as she's concerned, Hope is crushed. Look for more Hope and Finn scenes. She feels like everything's falling apart, and Finn has been her go-to guy recently that she's gone to cry on his shoulder and look for hugs. And misplaced affection. It's not affection on his part, but she thinks it is. And I do think Brooke and Finn are both going to encourage Hope to move on. If she talks to Liam, he would say the same thing, but Hope cannot. She may turn into the Thomas of this relationship, the obsessive stalker who won't let go when the other person is in a relationship. Kind of a bit of karma for her to be on the other end of the obsession of a pair. And Paris is busy making wedding plans. And I expect to see Thomas busy designing a dress for her to wear for their big day. And Poppy is busy looking for a way to discredit Katie in Bill's eyes. All right, those are all of our 2-week spoilers for the 1st through the 12th. Drop your comments on what you're excited to see. If you're following us, you rock. Thank you. If you're not, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our updates on Bold and the Beautiful. And we're here talking B&B 7 days a week with me, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.